Welcome to the Cord Bible Fellowship YouTube channel, and today's devotional is going to be in John, just John. We'll be jumping around, and the Gospel of John, and I'll tell you where we're at. So we'll start in chapter 13, verse 34. A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another, as I have loved you, that you also love one another. By this all will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. So this is Jesus talking to disciples at the Last Supper, and he's giving them this new commandment. He had said that the main commandment was to love God with all your soul, body, strength, mind. Just love God. And the second is to love your neighbor as yourself. And if you're loving God and loving your neighbor, there's not going to be room for hate or lying or all this wrongdoing, because you love God, and God is good, and nothing bad comes from God. So we see, if you love God, you'll love those around you. It'll show in your fruit. So let's demonstrate this. We'll go to chapter 4, verse 15. If you love me, keep my commandments. Now, this isn't saying you have to keep the law and keep all the law. We're saved through grace. But we're also not going to sin on purpose, just because. Not so grace would abound. Now, we go to chapter 14, verse 21. He who has my commandments and keeps them, it is he who loves me. And he who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I will love him and manifest myself to him. So now we'll flip over to chapter 15, verse 7. Alright, so it says, if you keep his commandments, God will abide in you. So how can you have God abide in you? By abiding in him. Because if you abide in me, and my words abide in you, you will ask what you desire, and it shall be done for you. Now, don't take this out of context. That doesn't mean you just ask for whatever you want, and it's going to spontaneously generate out of the sky. That's not how this works. We'll see, by this my Father is glorified. So things that the Father is glorified by. Because you don't know the future, you don't know what's good for you. He does. So you just got to trust him and see what glorifies him. What glorifies him? That you bear much fruit, so that you will be my disciples. So we should be praying for the fruit of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, and self-control. All are important, and we kind of just gloss over them. But each one is important in its own way. As the Father loved me, I also have loved you. Abide in my love. Keep his commandments. And he says that right there. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. So see, if you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love. And it says, and he just told us to abide in his love. So he's telling us right there how to abide in his love, is to keep his commandments. These things I have spoken to you, that my joy may remain in you, and that your joy may be full. One of the fruit of the Spirit, joy. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. See, so he's not saying keep the law. He's saying this is a commandment. Love each other as he has loved us. Not just to love each other and take them out of the equation. Because remember, it was 2 commandments. Love God and love others. So you got to keep things in perspective. Greater love has no one than this, and to lay down one's life for his friends. You are my friends if you do whatever I command you. No longer do I call you servants, for a servant does not know what his master is doing. But I have called you friends, for all things I have heard from my Father I have made known to you. So, you are my friends if you do whatever I command you. So he says, greater love than this has no one, unless, they die for their friends. And he's saying that he died for you if you're his friends, if you keep his commandments, if you abide in his love. And also, this doesn't just mean just die for your friend. Like, you could die for your friend, but what you do during life, did you really show your friend that you love them? You got to do it every day. You got to die to yourself and lay down your life and do things for others. Lay down your life, as in lay down what you want to do with your time. Right now, that is your time. And you go help someone with what they want to do, or what they need to do or can't do, or just love one another as he has loved us. Hope you enjoyed this message, I guess. And I pray that God blesses your day today.